everyone, this is Donna, the Technology and Media Librarian at Upper Arlington Public Library. I'm here today with a quick video in our digital resources series for YouTube to talk about video chat apps and how to figure out which one is the right one for you. So in this video, we'll be talking about 3 different apps. The first one is Zoom, the second one is Google Meet, and then third, we'll be talking about Skype. So as I'm filming this, Google Meet has recently become available to all of us with Google accounts, whether you had a free account. Previously, it used to just be available for those of us who had business or school accounts, but now it's open to everyone. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to talk about not only what is required to get started, but how it compares to other services that are already available. Since so many of us are moving to digital platforms for work, but also for socialization, now's a good time to explore all of those basic features and see what works and what doesn't for the existing accounts that you have and the devices that you're using. So all 3 of these services are going to let you do the exact same thing. You can talk to a large group through video chat, but they'll also have some other differences in the way that you set up scheduling, the way that you can interact with people during your chats. So just be ready to kind of get around and play around and see what works for you and what doesn't. You will need an internet connection, obviously, and then a device that you can use to connect to these services. So a computer that has a webcam and a microphone built in, or your smartphone or tablet and the apps installed. Before we get started, I do just want to get out of the way that I'm not going to walk you through the installation and setup process when it comes to downloading the apps or setting up accounts in this video for a couple of reasons. One is that this would be a very long video, and I don't want you to have to sit through anything that long. And the second is that a lot of this information is already available on the company's websites or through their own YouTube accounts. So be sure to check out the description below because I've linked to those resources to help you get started when it comes to just establishing an account. What I am going to show you in this video is all the basic differences between Zoom and Skype and Google Meet. So you can see those different features as they're in play, as you're watching a video chat. Get used to this face because you're going to see it a lot in this video. And then just, kind of give you the confidence to get in there, play around, figure out what you like and what you don't like, and that way you can get started. So let's begin. So let's talk about Zoom first. Zoom is the chat app that everybody has been talking about. It is free to start a Zoom account, but it's not required to have an account if you're not planning to host meetings. You can join a meeting using just the information about the meeting that the host sends you. For this, you need to have the Zoom software on your computer or the Zoom app downloaded on your mobile device, but otherwise, that's it. Literally, that's it. You'd click join a meeting, you'd enter the meeting ID followed by the password if the host sent it to you. You'd test your video settings before you join, and that's assuming your host even allows video settings. And that's it, you're ready to start. It's a huge appeal factor if you want very little commitment when it comes to joining a chat. That said, if you plan to organize meetings for your group, you will need not only the Zoom software, but also an account to schedule meetings. If you need to create a Zoom account, you can sign in using Google information or your Facebook information, but if you don't want to use those credentials on yet another website, you can click sign up for free to create a free Zoom account with your personal email address. Just a word of caution, whether you're using Zoom as a guest or as a host, if you're on the free version, while your calls have a cap of 100 people, group calls of 3 or more people get cut off after 40 minutes. So if you're planning on a very large group or a longer meeting, you need to take that into consideration and plan around it. If you need more time than that on a regular basis, Zoom has all of their pricing plans on their website under Plans and Pricing. You can click there to learn more. When it comes to scheduling meetings, you have a few different options. You can schedule from the Zoom application installed on your device. You'd click Schedule and then complete the form to include all of the relevant meeting details. You can also schedule a meeting from the Zoom website when you're logged into your account. You can even add the Zoom extension or add-on for your web browser so that you connect Zoom to your online calendar, either through Outlook or through Google. Zoom offers a lot of features that you can use to structure how your meetings will go. Some of these are focused on security and on preventing uninvited people from crashing your meeting. I think the most helpful way to get to know these settings is to dive in and start exploring them before you schedule a meeting. As you can see, there are many features that you can apply, and that may or may not be a good thing depending on how many settings and defaults you want to go through, how many you want to apply, and what each of those means. So you can take a look at all of these settings. You can see you can opt for people not to join a meeting before you, the host, get there. You can require a password for any kind of meeting. It's now applied as a default thanks to Zoom, even on its basic accounts. You can mute your participants upon entry. You can prevent people from chatting or having private chats. Definitely take a look through all of these. Screen sharing might be hugely important for a meeting. That's possible with Zoom, but you might want to turn it off for guests and only make it available for hosts. Zoom even has something called a waiting room. It's way down here at the end, where you have to let people in one by one before they can join your meeting. So there's a lot of settings that you can apply. A lot of these are privacy focused. Some of them are just about room management. You can also see these features in the security and participant buttons when you're in a chat. You can lock the meeting so no one else can join. You can mute participants so they can't use the audio feature. You can prevent them from sharing their screens or renaming themselves. You can remove participants if you need to. Again, you can mute them or chat with them. Sharing a screen is really appealing for groups, especially if they're doing a demonstration like I'm doing right now. But you can set screen sharing so only you as the host have that capability. So as you can see, there are a lot of features on Zoom, and what I would recommend is that you log onto your account on the Zoom website, go to that meeting settings page that I was using, and just take a look through all of those, get familiar with what they are, and then check out the Zoom Support Center articles that we've linked in the description below so that you can see what each of those features means and what it'll look like in action when it actually comes to a chat. So next we're going to talk about Google Meet. As I mentioned at the start of this video, Google Meet used to only be available to G Suite account holders, so your Google account had to be associated with your business or your school, but now it's available to all of us who have personal Google accounts, so if you have Gmail or Google Drive, you're ready to go. What's really great about that is that you do not need to keep track of another account that you establish, so it's already using the login credentials that you know with your Google account, so it's free. It uses an account that you already have access to, and it also allows you to host up to 100 people on a video chat, which is fantastic. When you first get into Google Meet, you'll notice that its setup process for you, whether you're a host or you're joining as a guest, is much more simplified than Zoom's. That can be a great thing if you don't like to wade through settings, if you want something very streamlined and standardized. It's really just a matter of personal preference and whether you want controls over your meeting. If you're using a computer, you can start or join meetings from your web browser. Visit meet.google.com. If you already have a Google account, and especially if you're signed into that account, you are ready to go. Once you're signed in, you can either start a meeting by clicking Start a Meeting, or you can join an existing meeting that's been hosted by someone else when you enter the meeting ID that they provide. You can install the Google Meet app on your mobile device, which is free from your App Store, if you'd like to do this on your mobile device. To start your meeting, you'll click Start a Meeting, and at that point your web browser is going to ask you to confirm your webcam and microphone settings. If all of that looks great, you'll just hit Join Now to start your meeting. Keep in mind that as the meeting host, only you can allow people into a meeting in progress if they didn't receive their invitation from you, either by emailing them the link or by messaging them from the Add People. You can also schedule a meeting through Google Calendar right from the Google Meet homepage, here where it says Start a Meeting. You can invite people to that calendar event through the calendar invitation function, and they'll be able to join the meeting from their calendar, as will you as the host. So once you're in this calendar function, you'll fill out all the details, name of the meeting, time, date, and then you can see you can invite people who are already in your contacts. You can add their email addresses as guests. And then that blue Join with Google Meet button is what they'll see in their calendar and what you can click on to join a meeting when it begins. If you're invited to a meeting and you don't have a Google account, be prepared to create one. You'll need it before you can join. Again, this is really an option for existing Google users, for those who are interested in creating a Google account, either for the purposes of using Meet, or if they want to take advantage of other Google services like this calendar function, or if they'd like to use Gmail or cloud storage and document creation. See, I told you my face would be prominent in these. So as you can see, once you're in a meeting, you have lots of different features, like you can chat with other guests. If you are the meeting host, you can add people to the meeting after it's already started. You can get those meeting details in the lower left corner, and you can share out that link again. I also like this attachments button. If your calendar invite includes attached files, those will appear in the meeting. Another feature that you may find helpful, that closed caption button, which will caption your conversations as you talk, that can be absolutely crucial. There's also sharing your screen. You can present your entire screen or just your browser tab. You can also let your guests present their screens as well. And of course, if you're the host, you can mute people or remove people from a meeting. So you can see that the features here are much more simplified than they are on Zoom. And again, as I keep saying, that can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how much control you want over your meeting and how many granular settings that you want to change for those meetings as well. Overall, the biggest takeaway from this is that this is a product for Google users, whether you're a meeting host or if you're a meeting guest. You can learn more about the features available to you as a Google user. Watch our YouTube videos, top tips for Gmail, for Google Docs, and for Google Drive. And be sure to check out the description below because we have linked to Google Meet support articles. Finally, we're going to talk about what you need to use Skype. Skype is probably the most familiar video chat app available. It's been around for quite a while, since I think about 2003, and it's been a Microsoft product for several years. Using the free account, you can have up to 50 people on a video call. Whether you're using the Skype software application, which you download to your computer or as an app on your mobile device, or you're using the Skype website, you will need an account if you're planning to host meetings. If you already have an account with Microsoft, for example, if you have an Outlook email account, or if you're already using OneDrive, which is Microsoft's cloud storage service, you're already set. You can log into Skype using your Microsoft account credentials. You can also create a Skype account using your email address that you already have, like your Gmail or your Yahoo address. Or another option, if you like using Microsoft products, you've been thinking about signing up for an Outlook email address, Skype is very much like Google Meet in that it's part of a larger suite of products for your Microsoft account. So you can sign up, get a new Outlook email account, and then use that. One feature of Skype that you might like is that, much like Google Meet, you can use it from your web browser while you're logged into your account. So if you're not inclined to download yet another software application for your computer, if you're not planning to use Skype on your mobile device, then you can log into your account and make video calls straight from your web browser. For this video, I'm on Skype for the web. Now, there are a couple of different ways that you can start a chat or a meeting on Skype. One is to set up a group chat with people in your contacts. You'd set up a new chat, you'd add participants from your contacts, and once you've established who's in your group, what your call is going to look like, then you can turn on the video call option, and that's it. You can start your video chat. In this scenario, though, your contacts have to have Skype accounts too. If someone you want to talk to isn't on Skype, you can invite them to join you on Skype, and you can schedule a call with them right from within the chat feature. But it has to be from Skype account to Skype account, so keep that in mind. Another way that you can start a meeting on Skype is to use the Meet Now feature. It's very similar to Google Meet in that you start a meeting as the host, and then you can send out a copy of the link to that meeting to whomever you need to. You can copy and paste it through email, through text, you can send it to your Skype contacts, however works best for you. Where this differs from Google Meet is that your guests do not have to have an account with Skype in order to join the meeting. You'll need an account as the meeting host. They won't in order to join. They just need to have the link. They don't even need to download the Skype software. They can actually just join from their web browser, as I'm demonstrating here. Just keep in mind that if you are copying the link, whoever has that link can join your chat, can identify themselves however they'd like. So if you're a little bit worried about that link getting into the wrong hands, it might be better to just send it out to your Skype contacts only, whatever works best for you. And you can see here, this is what the Meet Now screen looks like. You can see who is in the call. You can mute them and turn off their audio. You can share the link to that call while it's in progress. So you can copy and paste that link and send it out to other guests in the meantime. Obviously, you can chat with your guests, so you can send out a message to everyone. Again, you can see that link is even in the chat window if you need to add people, and certainly that can go out to your Skype contacts as well. But there's also an option to send that link in the lower left corner of your screen. You can take snapshots of your screen. You can record your call. There's these share screen features so that if you need to share your desktop with your guests, that's certainly available to you. You can even see those little reaction emojis on the side. And of course, as the host, you can also remove people from the call. So you can see a lot of these features are very similar to Google Meet and to Zoom. They're just streamlined again, and that's also very much like Google Meet. At this point in the video, you're probably asking yourself, what about privacy concerns? What about security concerns? And those are fantastic questions to ask because it's so important, especially when you're dealing with a large call with multiple people, but especially when you're dealing with a new service or a free service. Something to always keep in mind when you're signing up for a brand new service and when you're downloading a software application to your computer or to your mobile device is to read that privacy policy as carefully as possible and to be as aware of your privacy and account settings as possible. Very often our concern isn't just about bad actors. People are going to crash your call. People are going to Zoom bomb. I'm sure you've heard the phrase Zoom bombing recently in the news. That's a concern, but so is data collection, data privacy, what the companies that you're signing up for an account have access to and don't have access to. I've linked to some articles, again, below in the video description that I highly recommend that you check out because whenever you sign up for a new service, you want to be aware of what information in particular is being collected. That's hugely important. We've also linked in the description below to an article and a subject guide from our reference department to talk about online privacy. You should be having good privacy practice in general, and then just adding this as another layer on top of your privacy. Okay, so we're here towards the end of our video, but before I go, I want to let you know that I have not mentioned all of the possible video chat options that there are. There's FaceTime for Apple users, there's Facebook Messenger, there's also WhatsApp, there's a new app called House Party, and of course, if you're a Microsoft user, there's also Microsoft Teams. So this is in no way a comprehensive guide to all of the possible video chat options. Again, check the video description below because there are other options out there and you might want to explore them. This is just an overview of the most popular apps that are available and the ones that people are talking about in the news. It can be very overwhelming to sort out all of them. I promise I'm not trying to cover absolutely everything in this video. Just wanted to give you guys a short intro into the services that people are talking about so you can get started and explore them on your own. Check out the links below. Be sure to subscribe to our channel because we'll be doing more video programs like this one to help you get started on using digital resources as everything evolves and we all try to work from home and adjust to our new normal. Thanks for watching.